Well, after pituitary, the next important gland that we are going to study is the thyroid gland. Well, the thyroid gland is located in your neck but just below the larynx. So let us look into the structure here. This is the larynx, which we know is our voice box. This is the structure that helps us in speaking, and this leads into the windpipe, which is called trachea. In between these two structures, that means between the larynx and the trachea, is located this gland, which is a butterfly shaped gland because it has two lobes, and the two lobes are, now this gland is important because it produces two very important hormones in our body. One is thyroxine, another is calcitonin. Calcitonin is not in the syllabus, so we will only study thyroxine. So let us see what are the functions that are performed by this hormone. The first important function is it regulates the basal metabolism. Now let me explain you what is metabolism. Metabolism is that process which helps in breaking down food in presence of oxygen to release energy. Now some of this energy is released in the form of ATP and some of it is released in the form of heat. So this rate of metabolism will actually determine how energetic you are and how much heat your body can produce. So this reaction is directly under the control of the thyroxine hormone. So if this hormone is produced in proper amount in your body, your metabolism is going to be normal and there will be enough body heat that will be produced. The important function of this hormone is the general body growth, and it also causes ossification of bones, which is basically formation of bone. All of these basically affect an individual during the childhood. So it is very important that during childhood, for proper growth and for ossification of bone, there is enough thyroxine hormone produced by the child. Now let us see what are the various disorders that we can suffer from if there is hypo or hyper secretion of thyroxine hormone. Hypo or hypersecretion of thyroxine hormone can badly affect the metabolism of the body. So for instance, if the hormone is not produced in enough quantity, then the metabolic rate of that individual is going to be low, and if it is produced in excess amount, it will increase the metabolic rate of that person. Now for hyposecretion of thyroxine, we study them under two categories. There is hyposecretion of this hormone seen in infants, and then that disorder is called cretinism. Infants usually show dwarfism and they also show mental retardation, because we know for the growth of the body as well as for mental development this hormone is very essential. The same hyposecretion can also be seen in adults. Now in adults there are two situations under which there can be less thyroid hormone produced in the body. Number one is a deficiency disorder. See, thyroid hormone or the thyroxine has a very important building block made of iodine. So if in your diet, if there is deficiency of iodine, then even if the gland is properly functioning, it will not be able to produce enough thyroxine hormone. So this is a deficiency disorder, and under such condition the person will suffer from simple goiter. What happens in this situation is there is enlargement of the thyroid gland and it protrudes out of the neck. This is mostly seen in those areas where the soil is deficient in iodine. So such patients are advised to take iodized salt. This is specifically found in hilly areas because this iodine deficient soil is found in hilly areas. Whereas if the diet has enough iodine but still the patient is not producing enough thyroxine hormone, then in such case the gland is not functioning properly. That is known as myxedema. This is very common nowadays, and in this case there will be swelling of face and hand. That means it actually results into sudden weight gain, and the person is also going to be very sluggish or tired. So all in all, hyposecretion in case of adults will be considered under two categories. One will be because of deficiency of iodine in diet, that is called simple goiter. Another because of the malfunctioning of the thyroid gland, which is called myxedema. Now let us come to the next category, which is known as hypersecretion of thyroid gland. But this is rarely seen in infants. So we mostly see this in adults. Now, what are the features of people suffering from this exophthalmic goiter? Number one, they will have protruding eyes, which is very, very evident. Number 2, they will have increased metabolism. Obviously, because there is because there is excess of thyroxine produced in the body, the rate of metabolism is very high. So such people will have a tendency to lose weight more than gaining weight. Then they will have shortness of breath. Their heartbeat is also little higher than a normal individual. They will show restlessness and the goiter in the neck. That means there can be swelling of the thyroid gland in the neck. Why? Because here the thyroid gland is overworking. Same as the reason why we also see enlargement of thyroid gland in simple goiter, because the thyroid gland overworks to produce thyroxine hormone, and as a result of which it also enlarges in size. Now the next gland is the adrenal gland. Location kahan pe hai? It is located right above the kidney. So if this is the kidney, here is the adrenal gland. And when we take a section of this gland, we find it has two parts. The outer part is called the cortex and the inner part is called medulla. But surprisingly, these two parts produce different hormones. Like the medulla produces the hormone called adrenaline. This hormone is also known as the fight or flight hormone or stress hormone. जैसे हमने plants में abscisic acid को पढ़ा था as a stress hormone, similarly in our body this hormone helps us to overcome the condition of stress. So when you are stressed, when you are excited or when you are angry, this hormone causes certain changes in your body. What are those? It causes increase in your rate of heartbeat, your blood pressure and your rate of breathing. Second, it can constrict the blood vessels that are going to your skin and to your digestive system. It also causes constriction of the muscles of your body. इसीलिए जब आप बहुत गुस्सा हो जाते हैं, आप किसी को मारना चाहते हैं, you will find your muscles flex during that moment. Then they convert the glycogen which is stored in the liver into glucose, because you might need more energy under those conditions. And they also cause metabolism of fat into fatty acid. So all of these situations are very good when you are in a very stressful condition. But abhi kya hota hai, because of work stress and many other conditions, like you have your results coming out, you will start overthinking. All these conditions are like signals to your medulla, and this medulla is going to produce more and more adrenaline. But actually अगर आप देखें, इनमें से कोई situation ऐसा नहीं है where you have to run fast or you have to fight with somebody, but still your blood glucose level is going to go up, your heartbeat is going to go up. All of these cause huge damage to your body. So you must always try to keep yourself calm, because your body should not consider this as stress. Another very important thing, like we know all the glands of our body, they are under control of pituitary, but medulla is not under the control of pituitary. It is controlled by autonomic nervous system. Usme bhi the sympathetic nervous system, which always tries to scare the body. So this gland will work only when you are under very stressful condition. Otherwise, do not let this gland produce excess of adrenaline in your body. The next are the hormones which are produced by the cortex of the adrenal gland. These are together called cortisone. They are of three types. The first one is mineralocorticoid. नाम से ही समझ में आ रहा है. It regulates the metabolism of minerals like sodium and potassium ion. Second is glucocorticoid. So it increases the blood glucose level. It also causes metabolism of fat and protein. That means breakdown of fat and protein to produce energy. It also maintains the salt and water balance in our body, and it helps us to overcome certain stressful condition. Certain, what are those? जैसे cold हो, burn हो, heat हो, कोई infection हो. For all these you need glucocorticoids in your body. The last category of hormones are called sex corticoids. They are very interesting because these are the hormones which are produced both in male body and in female body. So in male body, the sex corticoids produce feminizing hormones, and in female body they produce masculine hormones. इसीलिए if there is any abnormality in the amount of sex corticoids in us, then we can actually show signs of opposite gender. Now let us talk about the various disorders that this gland can cause in us. Now I told that sex corticoids are very important because they are the masculine hormone in a female body and feminine hormone in a male body. But imagine a condition where there is overgrowth of adrenal gland in a mature woman, then in that case she is going to produce more male hormone in her body. This is known as adrenal virilism, and under such condition she may develop beard, moustache, and her voice can also become deep just like any other male. The same situation can also happen in a mature male body. Under such condition, they suffer from the disorder which is called gynecomastia. This is not mentioned in your book, but during this condition, they show enlargement of breast. Now, these two are strictly about sex corticoids, but in general, if there is hyposecretion of cortisone in the body, then we suffer from a disorder which is called Addison's disease. Now, in this case, the patient will start to lose weight, unintentional weight loss. There will be weakness, loss of energy. There will be pigmentation of skin. The skin will start to look dull. There will be hypoglycemia. The blood sugar level is always going to be low. Nausea and sensitivity, extreme sensitivity to cold. They find difficulty even sitting in front of the AC. They will be sensitive to any sort of pain, and they will be susceptible to infections. But if there is hypersecretion of this hormone in the body, cortisone, then we suffer from the disorder which is called Cushing's syndrome. Under this, the patient will show obesity. There will be hyperglycemia, just reverse of what you have read. So there will be excess of glucose in the blood, or the blood sugar level is going to be high. They will suffer from osteoporosis. That means the bones are going to be very brittle and weak. Salt and water retention. Remember, this is the reason why the person can also gain weight, because the water keeps on retaining in the cells, and as a result of which such patients, they have puffy face and swollen hands and limbs.